Before you guys take off, do you think I could get a score prediction week 1 from you? I see the Jets coming out and breaking the will of the Panthers up front. Our lines are going to kill their lines. Therefore, we're going to score 31 points. They're going to score 17. 1 touchdown from Sam Darnold. I'm sorry, Sam. I'm sorry. Best thing we ever did, getting rid of that Sam Darnold guy. Now, nice guy. I like him. I think he's a nice guy. Got a pretty girlfriend. All those things. I'm just telling you, Sam Darnold can't do nothing. We seen it. Nothing. 31-17 Jets.
I hate to say it. I do. I hate to say it, but I can't see the Jets stopping their offense with all those guys they have. I'm going to flip what Homer said, 31-17 Panthers. I'm sorry.
What are you going to do? Sometimes the hater side is right, man. Sometimes, no matter how bad you want to will it into existence, it doesn't work. Sometimes it just doesn't go your way. So this week, I got a sneaking suspicion. This week is going to be a little bit different. I'm just telling you. I got some intel. Maybe not so much intel as crazy thoughts. One or the other. Intelligence from an outside source or my own brain making shit up again. I don't know. But either way, I'm psyched to be here, man. What a crazy day I've had. I'm here with you. Now everything is okay. I'm in a good mood. And I want to say hello to our stat man. Before we get cooking into the chat, I want to say hello to the man behind the scenes filled with information. Let's say hello to our boy, Watu-K99. What's up, man? How you holding up so far? You okay tonight?
Fantastic. I wasn't fantastic a couple of nights ago, but recovery time gives you some time to put everything in perspective. It's on to a new week, onward and upward. Let's get better this week.
That's it. I'm with you, man. I think like we're saying, like Wednesday, Thursday, that's right around when the pain starts to subside and we can realistically look forward. So I'm with you. I think it was a rough week, but I'm feeling good right about now. I'm psyched, man. Are you feeling psyched yet?
You know what? I think I'm going to be psyched after I watch the latest episode of One Jets Drive. If I could give a treat.
There you go.
They could make an 0-17. Those guys, I don't know. They do that stuff really well. The team could go 0-17, and they could still find a way to make you feel excited about the future.
Yeah, they make Greg Dortch seem like he's going to light the NFL on fire. Those guys. I'll tell you, I got to hand it to our Jets film crew. They're pretty good. I agree. So, all right, man. Well, I'm sorry. Go on, please.
Yeah, we got something going on. We got a good film crew. So that's that. And apparently a good grass guy. They gave him, a 10-minute profile?
Right. That's right. His crew is on top of things. See him throwing the seed and the little divots and everything. But, all right, man. So I'll bounce you in the back. You'll be with us all night. We'll see you in a little bit, I'm sure. But thanks for being here. I appreciate it. And we'll see you shortly.
Sounds good.
There he is, everybody. Watu-K99. Right from the chat, right into this side of things. So another really good guy. I'm grateful to have him here. I want to say hello to some of you guys. I see Gitmo Bob is here. Metal Kid, you know who that is, right? That's Teen Bean. He's sneaking in here. We see Sir Robin, Jets Mess, Bradigan's here. Yeah, man. Mo Lake is here. Big Green. Everybody loves Big Green. Mark R. Stephen Ingles back. Yeah, Eminon. Postman's here. Again, I want to remind you, Postman has his, and that's John Post in the chat, has his own channel. Adrenaline Sports TV. I probably got it wrong again, Postman. I don't know. Something's wrong with my brain. But Adrenaline Sports TV, Adrenaline Sports Fantasy TV. We'll find it. He'll put it in there. And go support him, man. I enjoyed the one episode that I did watch. It was a live stream. I enjoyed it. And he's another one. He's one of us, man. We got to support, right? Jeremy Cravat's in here. You know him from the Frankie from Flatbush channel. And our Saturday morning Jets Worldwide show, 10 a.m. Saturday morning Eastern time. We've been doing that. We actually have Gangrene Germany coming on this week, Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern time, Gangrene Germany on this very channel. I could not be more excited to have those guys on, man. It's been a nice week chatting with them. And we have Joel King in the house. Yeah, man. Who was first today? I see AC. Frankie's here. What's up, Frankie? Frankie from Flatbush. Let me see who was first. think it was. I think I saw. It might have been Mikey Miles. What's up, my friend? Yeah, David Goodstein, Bismo Charismo from way down under. There he is. Big blocks here. Yeah, man, we're crushing it. Matt Simon's here. Let's see. So I don't know. John Post says Jeremy was first, but I see John. The first comment I see John Post is you. So John Post did it. He slammed it down. He made it, and I'm psyched about it. So look, it's Thursday. It's 9:08 on a Thursday after the last week game. This is right around the time when you're legitimately allowed to start feeling good about yourself. We can start feeling good. There's all kinds of feelings one way or the other. Sunday night was tough. Monday was even worse, in my opinion. People get a little time to think and conjure up little concoctions on what's wrong, and we get all the theories and all that kind of stuff. Tuesday's it's just as bad as Monday. And Wednesday, it just starts to settle and people get a little bit more constructive. And here we are, it's Thursday, and we start looking ahead to the big game. It's our home opener, man. There's going to be 80,000 Jet fans screaming their faces off. And in my opinion, we're going to win this game. We can talk about more reasons why and what your thoughts are and all that sort of stuff. But don't forget, in the chat, this particular show is governed by the chat. You guys rule the show. Whatever you want to talk about is what we talk about. If you have questions, please let them in the, put it up. Don't be afraid to put them in the chat. I'll get to them as best I can. I pretty much read most comments, or as many as I can. In the event you want to make sure your question or comment gets up there, I will do my best. 99 and 44th, 100%. If you put a super chat in there, I'm going to get to it. So that being said, let's see what you guys got for me in the middle of Thursday night football. You know what's funny, man? You know how I have NFL Game Pass and Sunday Ticket and all these things, and the NFL does this thing where they separate everything. Like, last couple of years, like you have to have this channel in order to watch these games and this channel to watch these games. And I had it. I said, I don't care. I'm not giving the NFL yet more money for Thursday night football. I'm just not doing it. So I don't get to watch this one. If it's on Game Pass, if it's on NFL.com, if it's on Sunday Ticket, I have all those things. So maybe you guys can let me know what's happening. Giants, Washington. I couldn't like that matchup anymore. I'm dying to see the Washington football team beat the Giants. Am I alone? What do you guys think? Are we rooting for the Giants or are we rooting for the football team? What do you guys think? I'm rooting for the football team. I'm also rooting for them to get a name. I think they're leaning towards Guardians. Didn't I see that? I was hoping that they picked, and I'm in Virginia, so I talked to quite a few Washington fans, and there's one other dad, his son is playing football with my son, and we chat, and he said that, he agreed. For a little while, there was a name floated out there, the Red Hogs. The Washington Red Hogs. Dude, I think that would be fantastic. Like, actually pay homage to, the old eras of Washington football and the fans. That would be fantastic. Remember the Hogs? Those guys in the dresses with the pig noses. Remember that? That's good stuff. Right. So Mark R saying F the Giants. I'm with you. Jets Tails. What's up, buddy? Saying football team. I know it's not on Sunday Ticket, Jeffrey. That's what I was saying. It's on NFL Network. So I was saying I bought all these other things. I got Sunday Ticket. I got Game Pass. But like when I put it on, I'm just not giving them more money. I can't. I can't do it. I can't justify it, man. I got Hulu and Netflix and all these things. HBO Max. It's like, So I lose my Thursday night football. It is what it is. I do love it. Don't get me wrong, but, it is what it is. So it's 7-7. So Daniel Jones looks good. Somebody alluded to. He doesn't look like a rookie. Is that what somebody said? He's not a rookie, but he's looking good tonight. Yeah. So David Goodstein's going to bring it back over to the Jets. Let me just make sure. I want to see how many Washington fans, or see if there's anybody that wants the Giants to win. So we got Sir Robin saying Washington. Franz. Hello, Franz. Washington tax suckers. Yeah, there you go. Maybe. Red potato skins. Right? Imagine they slid something in there like that. The red potato skins. That's interesting. What else we got here? Touchdown, right. So now it's 7-7. Oh, okay. So it looks like I don't see any Giants. I'm surprised somebody didn't at least bet on it and want the Giants to win. Eminon says can never root for the Giants. I tend to agree, unless it has some bearing on the Jets, And I've shared this with you guys before. My entire NFL fandom is governed by the Jets. So I only root for teams when they can somehow benefit the Jets. Like the reason I know, like how I know who to root for each week is who's playing, how it's going to affect the Jets. If we're totally out of it, it goes towards the teams that I hate more because of the Jets. Or like if players left the Jets, that's how I watch football, man. It's sadly, it's almost all negative, all hatred. Isn't that messed up? Everything I do is about the Jets. To me, it's the Jets league, and everything else has to do with what way it benefits the Jets. That's it. That's the only way I watch football. So, but I will say, obviously, we can be aware of talent. Like I do like certain players and what they can do. They're more exciting to watch. And the thing is, when I always find a way to root for one team or the other, so then I start rooting for their players like they're mine, like a Terry McLaurin, like a Chase Young. Man, it's fun when you can root for those guys. Rooting against them, when you have to root against really good teams, it sucks. It sucks because they're good. Then they kill you. Ah. If the Giants lose, they're starting 0-6. They got a tough schedule, huh, Joe? That's interesting. I know, right? That's funny, Eminon. After the sewage spill, we should call them the DC Dingleberries. Maybe. There is a logic there. There is. So, wait, I just had a question up. Somebody was saying, so I lost it. I'm sorry. So you were talking about last week's game, and it's like, look, as I've now watched the game 4 times now on the condensed version. So I've watched the game 4 times in its entirety through the condensed version on NFL Sunday. I'm sorry, on Game Pass. Now they have not released the all 22 upon my last checking, which was earlier today, like early afternoon. The UK has it and Australia has it, but for some reason the United States doesn't have it. Unless I know I'm not alone. I saw many people asking where the hell it was. So I haven't been able to do my regular digging. Like I like to just zero in on people and watch them for a series of plays or watch a unit for the whole game. I try to do that. Like I'll actually put the game on and through all 22 and just watch the offensive line the whole game. I don't look at the ball at all. I only watch the players. And then I'll do it for the defensive backs. I'll see the safeties. I do that. So I find that to be almost as enjoyable as watching the game itself. But I haven't been able to do that. But so I watched the game 4 times. And I'm going to tell you what I was saying Sunday night, Monday, whatever, about the assignments. I feel I couldn't be more reinforced in my thinking. Like when you watch our offensive line, not to say that they didn't get beat at times too, because they did, but the overarching reason for what we watched was they were lost. They were confused. They were doing all sorts of different things. 2 guys would run towards one guy and miss the stunt. I mean, stunts are relatively easy to pick up if you know your assignment. If you know your assignment, you know where you're supposed to be, stunts get picked up. Now, you can get beat on a stunt, but generally speaking, stunts shouldn't work like they worked, like having huge holes. I mean, there was probably 10 or so plays where somebody ran in untouched. Can't happen. So with that being said, I'm actually encouraged by that. I feel like it's on the coaching staff. And this is just, they haven't been able to get the players to become efficient with their systems. And that comes, don't forget, man, first time ever. So anyway, that's kind of how I feel about it. And I feel pretty good. I think that we're gonna lock it down. And look, if the players aren't understanding the system, rather than get somebody killed, I'm talking about the offensive line. If they're just not getting it for whatever reason, when you go into the game, you resort to man, you revert back. Just block the guys in front of you. This is your space. Nobody comes in that space. I mean, if it has to be that way, and you'll have better results than trying to have a team master this complex system and their heads are swimming. So anyway, we got to remember Zach Wilson's life is on the line here with almost no exaggeration. I mean, the kid can get killed. So I see a super chat. I'll get right to that. Bismo Charismo, our good friend from the land of Australia. GreenBean, how are our offensive line going to improve? How is our offensive line going to improve? Is it effort or talent? Zach needs protection. Well, interestingly, I was just kind of talking about that, Bismo. But here's the thing. Like, I saw so many people using game one as an indictment against Joe Douglas, right? I could not disagree more. Like, tell me that because of game one, all of a sudden Elijah Vera Tucker isn't the consensus number one guard in the entire draft, right? All of a sudden he's not. So that's a bad pick from Joe Douglas. I mean, Elijah Vera Tucker is a stud. Okay. So when you Elijah Moore, because he dropped 2 passes, is it a bad pick? Honestly, is it a bad pick? A first round guy sitting there in the second? So and I'm not using that to defend Joe Douglas per se. What I'm saying is dude, at some point you hand players over to the coaches. Okay. At some point you give these players, everybody, and I mean everybody, thought that the players, at least the top 4 that we picked, were absolute steals where we got them. Now we traded up for ABT, so it is what it is. But as far as the players themselves, dude, nobody would deny that they were great players. They played like shit, partially because of the systems that they weren't getting and nerves. Look, Elijah Moore dropping 2 passes in one game, and it happens to be his first game in the NFL. I mean, look, I got made fun of by like 3 or 4 people like, oh, yeah, these guys are pros. And yeah, I get it, but they're still humans. And how many humans have you seen in the NFL that cringed under the bright lights, especially early on? It happens all the time. So to your question, Bismo, in my opinion, it's just going to take time. It's just learning the system. It's just knowing where your assignments are. In my opinion, getting their asses kicked like that is going to make them take every lesson, every opportunity, every rep that much more seriously. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, their egos were bruised in addition to their bodies. There's no doubt in my mind, no doubt. So I think that we're going to see an improved offensive line. Now, am I saying they're going to be top 3 all of a sudden? No, I'm not saying that. But I am going to say that I would be shocked if we didn't see improved protection. Shocked. Now, my thing is Saleh and LaFleur. That's my thing. I don't want to say issue, but where I lay the fault is on Mike LaFleur and Robert Saleh. That's where I lay. Now, it just so happens that they're both rookies in their positions. So their heads are going to swim. They are going to be confused, all those kinds of things. But like when you look at the offensive line schemes, the game plan, the adjustments, all those kinds of things, that's on the coaches. It is. Getting your players in the best position to succeed when things aren't working, pulling it back and using high percentage stuff, slow down the pass rush with screens and the like. Those types of responses we didn't see. That to me is somebody who was swimming, spinning, scared a little bit, just a little bit. All right, fair enough. A little bit. Scared a little bit. All right. I'm not saying, all right, it's a little bit. Just a little bit. Now, I don't think they're scared of the Panthers or scared of anybody, but it's their first time being in that position in the NFL. And I maintain my opinion that there were whole batches of nerves going around. And the problem is, even the leaders were having nerves. It's their first time. I think by the end of the game, they were a little more comfortable. That's what we saw. It wasn't perfect, but we saw it settle down a little bit. We saw it. And that's because once you're in a fight, you're scared to fight, and somebody punches you in the face, something happens. You might still get your ass kicked, but you're not nervous anymore. Anybody been punched in the face? What am I talking about here? Come on. Right? Right, Bismo? So I think that's what we're going to see. And I think it's not about the players sucking. Becton is a stud. He looked like he was lost. AVT is a stud. He looked like he was lost. I'm still a Connor McGovern fan. And again, I watched it numerous times. Did I think he played great? But no, he didn't play as bad as everybody's trying to make it out that he played. He was constantly trying to compensate for the guard play, constantly adjusting, running around, and he was lost too. So it's just the whole thing. And we have to keep our eyes on the coaches and how well they can communicate their teachings, their guidance, their schemes, because that's the thing with coaching. That's the most important thing, man. So anyway, but thank you for the super chat, Bisma. I hope I answered your question. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, look, I honestly think we will, again, we've done this every year since Joe Douglas has been here. I mean, he brought in 7 offensive linemen the first year. That's like the comment that he said he was going to protect Sam. He brought in 7 offensive linemen, used a first-round pick, his first ever first-round pick on a left tackle. I think he did. And he raised from the 32nd line to the 23rd or whatever it was. So there was improvement. He did bring it, and he did it again this year. He drafted AVT. He signed Morgan Moses. He signed a couple other things, but it's like, so there's constant attention to the offensive line. I think you're right, Frankie. I think that we're going to see a center brought in, and I think that we'll probably at least see another guard. So I think Joe Douglas is going to do that every year, and I love it. It's the way it should have been, man. 5 years with 1 draft pick going to the O-line, dude. What is that madness? Madness. Oh, blunted Vegas. So I have a whole plan for this year on how we're gonna raise the heat on the Joe Klecko thing. Some of it's gonna start this weekend. I want to film some stuff with fans and all that kind of shit, and I want to start putting content out there to at least help the cause as best I can from whatever position I'm in. So I'm in agreement, man. And in truth, I think Gastineau should be there too, but one bite at a time, right? How do you eat an elephant? How do you eat an elephant, Vegas? One bite at a time, buddy. That's what you do. So let's see. And I don't know who will be available next year. As far as free agents, we can speculate. I'm not the biggest Sheriff fan. He's good, but all the injuries and stuff. I think he might have done well last year with the injuries, but before that, he was injured quite often. And I know he's just scary. Like when you take guys who have injury histories and bring them to the Jets, like it very rarely goes to the good side where you're hoping. It usually goes to the side like, he was always injured. Like the Jets have that negative cloud over us. So we need to bring people in who are like above that, beyond that, or at least don't have that history. You can't bring guys in here that it could go either way because it goes the wrong way. Sheriff comes here, he's going to end up getting hurt week 2. Crazy. Scary, man. Freaks me out, Frankie. It does. It freaks me out. All right, let's see. So Misdirect, what's up, buddy? He says Robert should put the fear of God in them. Play like an effing Jet. Yeah. I think, this is where I'll just use it as an example, but this is someplace where, especially early in the season, where I think a coach like a Greg Williams, like that type of a guy, is beneficial. Like when you have a young team and they're kind of, they're just not there, right? They're sloppy, they're tentative, they're whatever. Having a coach like you're saying to kind of lay into them. Parcells did it. Lots of great coaches did it. And it's not to say you want to be a mean screamer like Greg Williams is most of the time, but there are times when something like that, well placed, can really have an impact. And I hope Saleh has that in him. He strikes me as a guy who's passionate, but doesn't usually get down on anybody, like kind of lay into him. I don't know. But I think now would be a good time to do it, And we'll talk a whole bunch about a lot of specific players tonight, I'm sure. I do want to get into what we think about next week's game, but we'll spend this first little bit kind of shaking it off. All right, we'll shake it off, man. Yeah, so Y2K chimes in. He says, funny how yesterday people said surgery would take Becton out for the year. Not the case. I know. Have we gathered yet that very little of what comes out, especially by our beat, or just like Twitter accounts outside of Schefter and Rappaport and sometimes Glazer, like those guys. Outside of that, most of the stuff that we see and hear is drama. That's all it is. It's people saying stuff. And now we take it as news. Like, so somebody tweets, John Jingleheimer from, Tall Boy Sports says something and puts a tweet out there. 10 people see it and they go, wow, that's interesting. And they use it. Then Daily News and whatever, and they see it and they go, hey, it's been reported by Tommy Boy Sports that this, and then we eat it up and it's all over the place. Now, as if it's a fact. And it's just some guy just saying stuff. It's a weird time with Twitter, isn't it? These are weird days, fellas. These are weird days. Isaiah Williams better than Fant? Well, I don't know about that, Jets Forever. I don't know about that. I think Fant played well on the left side. I don't know. Again, I know we don't have to do this again. We talked about it Tuesday night ad nauseum, but just quickly, I don't know why they chose to switch it up. So, like, look, let's say some things here. As I talk about the coaches swimming, as I talk about the coaches being overwhelmed, nervous, those types of things, kind of lost, moving really fast on them. They can't quite get ahead of it, those types of things. In that, there's also difficulty making the correct personnel decisions, right? There's a lot going on. So when you have Becton on a concussion protocol for 10 days, now he's on there for 10 days. You had Morgan Moses playing the right side and Fant playing the left side. So those were your guys for 2 weeks. All right. Now, before that, Becton, he had a couple days off, but he was around. But so for that 2 weeks leading up to the season, that was our tackles. Fant on the left, Morgan Moses on the right. Right before the game, we decided to take Fant and put him over on the right side and take Moses out of there. Already having a guy in Becton who hasn't played in 2 weeks. So in my head, the way that I see it is you have a choice whether to have one guy who's not been playing that position 2 weeks, or you can have two guys not playing the position 2 weeks. They chose two. If they would have just kept Morgan Moses on the right side and then just pulled Fant back because Becton was starting, that would have been smarter. Now you only have one guy playing a position that hasn't been played in 2 weeks by him. They chose to shake it up even more and put a line out there who's never played together before. At least if you kept Morgan Moses over there, you had 4 of the 5 who just played together for 2 straight weeks. See what I'm saying? So these are the kinds of decisions. They seem little and insignificant, but they're not. Because when you stack them all on top of each other, you create a scenario that's super crazy stressful, super crazy. Well, I'll just leave it at stressful. But it's like too much to handle. Keep everything as simple. All your solid pieces, keep them there solid. Because then you have the other moving parts. Let's not forget, we started 7 rookies on top of that. See what I'm saying? So this coaching staff, and from my vantage point, is leaving a lot to be desired right now. That doesn't mean I don't have faith in them and they won't get it. I think they will. But I have a lot of problems with their personnel decisions and their choices right now and their ability to kind of manage a game plan. I think Matt Rule kicked the living hell out of them. It's just very simple. And their defensive coordinator, I forget his name. I want to say Phillips. I don't think that's his name. But their defensive coordinator over there, dude, he handed us our ass in a lunchbox. That's what he did. Yeah, I know. That's the thing, right? I mean, so Robin has a good point. ABT is a Pac-12 product, and the Pac has been soft for years. Yeah, I mean, there's those types of things. Like we have these discussions before the draft about not being able to judge a guy because of the school he goes to. Like every guy is an individual. It doesn't matter the program. And a lot of that was centered around Justin Fields this year. And I do agree with that. Everybody is an individual. Just because 56 people before you that played this position at that school didn't make it does not mean that you won't. I agree. But there is something to it, and it should be considered. Look, I said it a whole bunch of times. I love the AVT pick. Loved it. But that's not what I would have done. I would have waited or maybe moved up a little bit, but I would have waited, taken a Darisaw or somebody else. I liked Rashawn Slater. I don't remember where he went, but I liked a few tackles in that draft. I liked a few guards in that draft. So I would have done, I liked centers in that draft. So I would have waited and then used my 2/3 to support what my choice in the first round. It's fine. I still like the pick, and I love that Joe Douglas was aggressive enough to get the one guy that he wanted. I love it. And I also think AVT is going to be fine. I think he's going to be fine. But it's a good point. It's just something to consider. And so is things. But I don't like to, just like the thing I just said to you, I don't like to do that. Like, that's my thoughts. And I said everything that day. I said, I wouldn't, that's a lot of money. And I mean, as far as draft picks and all those kinds of things. But, when we do things, I don't like to go back 2 years later, a year and a half later and say, see, like, I don't know. I don't know. Not yet anyway. 4 years, I do. I like to wait. I'm a little bit more patient. Even though I have the same emotions as most Jets fans, I'm much more patient than a large sum of us. I just am. A lot of us are really extreme in our swings. Like, I'm going to tell you right now, this week we saw how many Joe Douglas sucks, tweets, videos, whatever. It's all over the place. We saw the offensive line, all the stuff about them, that these guys are 5 losers and they shouldn't even be starting. I saw all that stuff. In the event we beat Belichick, I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to see massive threads of people saying that we're probably the best team in the NFL, or we're going to win the AFC East, or whatever it is. It's going to go that way. So the pendulum, it never hangs out in the middle. Our pendulum, it's always like, yeah, we're the fucking worst, going to fire everybody. Oh, we're going to the bowl. Like, that's just how we're wound, man. So I tend to be a little bit more patient, So, Aunt Gina's here. What's up, Aunt Gina? It's good to see you. You did bring some good luck on Sunday. I have to give it to you. We did. We said Aunt Gina's here. She's super positive. And she said, yeah, positive. And then as soon as that happened, we got a fumble. So thank you, Aunt Gina. Let me see. Slater went right before ABT. There it is. And thank you, Watch. I didn't catch it, but the defensive coordinator is Phil Snow for the Cats. See, I was close. What did I want to say? Phillips, right? I was in there, man. Not bad. Right. Thank you, Watu-K. I appreciate that. I'm not doing so bad. I'm usually in the neighborhood. I just never get the right house. You know what I mean? I'm close. That's how it goes for me. But thank you, Angie. She says, we are too. Most of our family are Giant fans, except GreenBean, his son, and my 2 kids. I'm working for my grandsons to join us at Jets fans. Got to get them while they're young. That's what she's always trying to do. She's always grabbing the young bucks and trying to get them to say Jets. She's all about that Jets chant with all the little kids. It only works on 5% of us? That's all. So here's the thing. Let's talk about, let me see what else you guys got in here. And right, Mo Lake, this is exactly it. We need to give the O-line time to gel. Like I saw on Twitter, I think it was this morning, maybe yesterday, somebody compared the Chargers offensive line to the Jets offensive line. Could probably be because they were like right next to us last year. Like they had the second to worst line or something like that. And this week they were top 5 and the Jets were bottom 5. And here's the thing I'll tell you is that outside of Lindsley, they pretty much have been together for longer. I mean, Herbert's been there. You know what I mean? There's a lot of that team working in the same system on their second year. So they've had 17 games. That's huge. You know what I mean? Second year with the coach, the whole thing. I just like the comparisons that we find. Not that there's not some value to everything, but it's like it's unfair. It's just unfair to like keep stacking turds on top of this. It's just like, I don't know. Like like Mo Lake said, dude, it's going to take time. We knew this going in. Now it looked worse than I thought, but still, these guys are good. Jeremy chiming in. What's up, buddy? One game he is trying. Are you guys talking? All right, I'll get that out of there because I don't know. It's hard to get those types of comments when there's a conversation going on. Sorry, buddy. Let's see. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Let's see what we got here. Joe Campione says he's worried about the medical staff. Well, look, you got reasons to be. I mean, I've said it a whole bunch. I made full videos on how great of a move, for lack of a better word, that it was to do what Joe Douglas did to the medical staff. Now, I still believe that, but the early returns, not so good. Fair enough. Fair enough. But if you look at the injuries, and look, this is the thing. People don't like to look at the reasons why. It's like we look at the whole, right, Joe? We look at the entirety of a situation, say, clearly something's wrong. But it really does have to do with specific things that are going on. Like when you look at Carl Lawson, the guy was an absolute monster, super crazy shape, all the right dietary stuff, the correct hydration, the proper stretching regimens, everything. It's an Achilles. It's an Achilles tendon. It popped. And he even did the things to remain more elastic and all those kinds of things I was reading in one article. And so it's like, it's one of those freak things. You look at Jared Davis, somebody literally landed on his knee. He was on the ground. Pop, it just landed on his leg. So I don't know what a medical staff can do. Now, where we'll see if they're worth their salt is how well they can help guys come back from these injuries, right? And then the other thing is, I mean, look at Vinny Curry. Vinny Curry said that it was the Jets staff that found this rare blood clot thing that he has. So that was our team. That was our guys that found that. Like he's had issues before, but they didn't know, they didn't find this. So the Jets staff found. So clearly they're good. And I think, again, we're talking about all kinds of new people, new cornerbacks, new offensive line, new coaches. We got a new medical team. Maybe they need time to gel, Joe. Maybe they need time to gel too. You know what I mean? Oh, we got Budster. He's a Jets fan living in Colts Bears country. Interesting. Oh, dudes, I got to tell you something. I'm not going to share it tonight because I actually want to properly build it up. But somebody, Indiana Jets fan from Indiana, Budster, sent me the greatest fan story I've ever heard, ever, about how he became a Jets fan. And I'll try to like get him over here and tell the story. Dude, it was the best. But you reminded me being in Colts Bears territory. That's what he said. He went to the first ever game for the Indianapolis Colts in that area. So, but it was all the Jets, man, what they did for him as a little Indianapolis fan. But he was actually a Bears fan. But anyway, it's nice to have you here. It's tough. Dude, I was in Miami for 15 years. You know what I mean? And I worked in Miami. And just so happened that where I worked, they were all season ticket holding Miami fans and one Dallas fan. He was a transplant. But dude, you want to talk about it? Every Monday I walked in there, I knew. But even if they lost, it was just, we always lost more embarrassingly. That much I can tell you. That was all the butt fumble days, all that shit, man. It was like every day I walked into work, it was like, it's coming. They're going to get me. They're going to get me, Budster. So I'm with you, man. I am with you in spirit. I was just in Indiana not too long ago. I went to Indiana Beach. I had to ride. Did you guys know? Remember Seaside Heights? A lot of us are from New Jersey or New York. Seaside Heights years ago used to have a coaster on the end of the pier called the Jet Star. Not the one that went into the ocean. That was the Star Jet, the one that replaced it. But before that, for like 25 years, there was a coaster there. That was my first roller coaster ever. And then there's only, so they've been tearing them down over the years. They just, their shelf life is over. But it's such a great little coaster. And there's only one left in the entire continent of North America. And that's at Indiana Beach. So I went all the way there just so I can take my kids on that coaster. Not bad. It was great too. I got to tell you, it really was. So, okay, in a few minutes, we're going to start getting into the Patriots. I think we're doing a good job getting past this, right? We're shaking it off. We're talking. We can all be friends. We can be respectful of one another, right? Just because I fucking hate what you're saying and I think you're an idiot, right? Doesn't mean I can't talk with you. I get that all the time, man. Let me tell you. I'm telling you. It's funny. All right, let's get to this super chat. Mark R., thank you, my friend. I do appreciate the super chat. You are such a leader of men. It's funny after after what I just said, right? Oh, I feel so bad. You are such a leader of men. As a special ed PE teacher and person who has to give speeches, I want to hear your go-to joke that you've used to captivate your audience. Well, I'll tell you what. I do have two jokes. All right. One is inappropriate. Absolutely inappropriate. So I can use that in certain circles. And then the other one is the got any grapes joke. You know the got any grapes joke? So Mark, let me know. I'll tell you guys one joke and then we'll get into the thing. So here's what you do. Tell me if you want to hear, everybody reply in the chat. Do you want to hear inappropriate? And by writing inappropriate means that you have agreed to the terms, that you cannot claim you're offended later. You have agreed. Or do you want to hear appropriate? So just write in the chat right now, inappropriate or appropriate. And we'll see. Oh, inappropriate. Inappropriate all the way. And I got to see what Mark says too. This is his super chat. Mark Dirty Sanchez. Yeah. Inappropriate. Anything goes. I don't get offended at anything, Mr. Rex says. Bruh XRP says nasty. Like that inappropriate joke you're going to tell. I don't want that one. I want a worse one. I want something worse. Let's see. We are big boys and girls. Brad Finkelstein. Well said, sir. All right. So I'll tell you the appropriate one. I'm sorry, the inappropriate one. All right. Now, I haven't told this in years. Let's see. Let me try to remember it. I hope I don't blow it because I haven't told this in years. I'm about to tell a joke. Remember my joke? The one with the urinal?
I heard it before.
The one with the urinal, remember? I'm feeling like I don't remember it. So a guy walks into a urinal and he walks up to, he walks in, he stands at the urinal, but there's a guy right next to him standing there in front of the other urinal with no arms. He's just standing there with no arms in front of the urinal. So he thinks, that's odd. That's weird. And then he takes his leak, packs himself up, and he goes over, he starts washing his hands. And the guy with no arms says, "Excuse me, sir. Could you help me out?" And he feels so bad for the guy. He's like, "Yeah, man, what's up? What do you need?" And he goes, Could you unzip it for me?" And he goes, "Yeah, I'll unzip it for you." So he unzips it. And then he says, "Could you take it out?" And he goes, "Oh, okay, man." So he takes out his wiener. And when he does, it's like the nastiest thing he's ever seen. It's like it smells, it has green fuzz on it, like dirt. Oh, it's just the grossest thing he's ever seen. So the guy takes his leak, he zips him back up for him. And, the guy goes, "Oh, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that." And he goes, "No problem, man. But what the hell's the matter with your penis?" The guy pops his arms out of his sleeves and goes, "I don't know, but I ain't touching it." What do you think? Give me a clap for it's good. Give me a frowny face if it's bad. What do you think? I used to get some big laughs with that one. What?
I laugh.
You laugh? My wife still thinks it's funny. I'll tell you the appropriate one too if you want. You like it? Was it good? Not bad, right? Now, I was a professional comedian for a long time, Mark, and I wouldn't tell stock jokes. Like I wouldn't do that. I was a storyteller, that was my thing. But I would break that one out every now and then. That's funny, Y2K. Nice. 1-0. That's it. I like that. So, yeah, that was my first show. Stress Factory, New Brunswick. First show ever. I was going down there to watch a friend at like the open mic they used to have on Wednesday nights, and he put my name down on the list, and I was drinking Jack on the rocks like I used to do, and they called my name. I said I'm not on the list, and everybody was like, "Man, 30 people," and they said, "Go, go on." I went up there and I just started talking. Funny thing is, I made a joke about the Jets. That's what I did. It was right. That was right after we hired Bill Parcells. That's when it was. Leave him alone. So anyway, was it a good joke? Tell the other joke. That's funny. The O-line is going to hold up, bruh. Come on, bruh. XRP, you know we got the connect. We're good, you and I. I'm telling you, the offensive line is going to incrementally be better by the end of the year, top 10. Mark my words. Mark my words. All right, I'll tell you the other joke. I'll tell you, I'm actually coming to New Jersey this weekend, Mark. I am. I'm coming to the game. You guys know this. I got things to do and stuff. I think I'm going to go to Brooklyn and I got to talk to Sack Exchange because I think turns out I have to go to a birthday party in Staten Island. So I'm going to be in Staten Island. So I might as well go to Brooklyn and get to Tonos. That's what I want. Keith Ingle. Look at that. Keith Ingle was a very, very talented cornerback for the Hiawatha Rats. That was the football team I was on. He's got the same tattoo I do on my leg because we won a championship. Remember that, Keith? Remember that? That was good. That was some good times, man. We went all over the place. We played in these tournaments and stuff, and we played in this league up in Hackettstown. All right, so I'll tell you the next joke. But it's good to see you, Keith. Not that I see you, but I see your name, so it all comes back, brother. It's nice. Hey, see? That's funny. Gotta help me out. I didn't say it was me. I said it was another guy. That guy told me the story. You see? It wasn't me. I would have said to the guy, I'm sorry. There's a staff member out there. Or you buy me a bag of M&Ms and maybe we'll talk about it. Right? So I look at Stephen Engel, just noticed Keith Engel. The Engels are back. I'd love to see you. I was trying to hang out with Rob Simpson. I'm actually going to see Joe Patty and maybe Jay Hartman actually on Saturday. Wouldn't that be cool, man? I'm trying to arrange a little jam session with those guys. But Joe, you guys know him as Joe the Cop. He wrote me a text that he got attacked by a bear on Sunday. I don't know if it was real or not. You know, Joe, you never know with Joe. But he said, I got to go to the hospital. I got attacked by a bear. I'm like, what? And I haven't heard from him since. He could be dead. Honestly, I reached out. He hasn't reached back. That's fucking crazy, isn't it? But anyway, I'll be up there. I was going to go to Boonton. I don't know. I got all kinds of little things to do. I'm going up for the game. So I have a lot of things to do, Keith, but we should connect. Keith, if you reach out to me somehow, my email is greenbeanjetsfan@gmail. Write me an email and we'll connect. All right, man? I would love to see you. Honestly, I would. So, all right, here's the other joke. I know, right? Here's the other joke. Now, you guys might know this, but this joke I can tell to anybody, and I've told it to rooms of third graders. I've told it to old ladies. I've told it to men at a bar, and it gets the same laugh every time. It's funny, Keith, Jay Hartman told me this joke down in Manasquan so many years ago. I laughed my ass off. It was so unassuming. So you guys might know it. It's gained some traction in the years. There's a song about it now and everything. But so a duck walks into a convenience store. Now I got to look right in your eyes for this one. All right. So a duck walks into a convenience store and he says, oh, sorry. So a duck walks into a convenience store. He walks up to the cashier and he says, you got any grapes? And the cashier says, no, I'm sorry. We don't sell grapes here. So the duck leaves. Comes back the next day, waddles right up to the same guy and says, you got any grapes? And the guy says, no, man, I told you yesterday, we don't sell grapes here. And the duck leaves. The duck comes back the next day, walks up to the same guy and says, hey, you got any grapes? The guy goes, no, dude, I've told you the last 3 days, we don't have grapes. We don't sell grapes here. As a matter of fact, if you come back in here one more time asking me for grapes, I'm going to nail those webbed feet of yours right to the floor. So the duck leaves. He comes back the next day, walks up to the same guy, and he says, you got any nails? The guy goes, no. He says, you got any grapes? Oh, it tickled me again. A little punk ass duck. Hey. Isn't that funny? Come on. You didn't like that one? Yes, I do own crypto, my friend. I own XRP, quite frankly. I own a lot of it. That's a good one, isn't it, guys? What's up, Socrates? It's good to see you, man. I see you, buddy. Abstriku's here. Good to have you guys. No. The joke was first, the way I understood it, Abstriku. The joke was first. They made it into a song. I don't know what I'm talking about. That's the way I knew it. I've known the joke for, it's got to be 25 years now. And the song was made from it. Or at least I heard it since. I don't know. It's a good joke. You guys didn't like it? Sneakers to Boots liked it. There you go. That's funny. Chris Bradigan. Mark R. Good. Isn't it funny, man? It's so unassuming. The first time I heard that, it took me like 2 seconds. I was like, and then I lost my marbles. I laughed for 10 minutes. I couldn't take it. It was so funny to me. So, all right. So here we are. It's 9:54. Number one, tell me what's going on with the game. Is it 1914, Pettigrew? You heard that one last week, Watsuke? That's crazy, right? Good, Anders. I made you laugh. Yeah, man. See that? Blunted Vegas. You can use that joke. It's a good joke. It's simple. And it's so mellow. It's the undertones are just so great, man. What an asshole that duck is. You know what I mean? It's like looking for it. He's finding the way to be a jerk. But it's good. So what's up, Mike G? I see you, buddy. Scott Wilson. Hello. It's good to see you guys. So it's 10-14. Washington's up. That's good. Tell me this. How does the running back? What's wrong with me? Jovis, what's the running back from the Giants? Jovis, what's the running back for the Giants name? Yeah, Saquon Barleycorn. Saquon Barleycorn. How's he doing? Is he playing? Is he doing anything? I'm really curious as to how he comes back from that injury. And I'm really interested to see how he comes back because the kid was so good. I know, Barkley. That was me playing. Barkley, Saquon Barkley. Saquon, there it is. You guys are all right, man. Yeah, well, Christopher Moran, you're not wrong. I mean, I think we can see certain things, but here's the thing, and this is what makes me nervous. And then we're going to talk Pats. I'm telling you, it's 10 o'clock. We got to talk Pats. The thing with what we saw from Zach is, if you remember correctly, these were the same things that we were talking about with Sam. These same flashes. Clearly, he has the ability to. Oh, can you get me another one of these? They're in the fridge, please. What? Am I hot? Why? Am I red? I'm sweating? No, I'm not. I'm really not. I'm just glassy. I don't know. I clean my face with one of those men's face pads.
Oh, those face pads are baloney.
You know what I mean? Like I get a men's. I never do this, but I got a men's product, and it's like my face is glassy. Ah. My wife's like, "Are you sweating? What's wrong with you?" But we were saying the same things about Sam Darnold that we're saying about Zach now. Now, it's only been one game, but it makes me very nervous. Like, if we don't have that offensive line in front of him, and I do think it's going to improve, guys. I sincerely do. We have actual players. Like when Sam, like in 2019, dude, that offensive line was slapped together with Scotch tape. It was garbage. Even Brian Winters, like he was garbage. And I like Brian Winters, an Iron Man. Dude, the guy played through injury. You got to commend that. But he's not a starting guard in my opinion. He's like, he's a good backup. At least he was then. You know what I mean? I don't know how he's doing on Buffalo now. I thought they got rid of him. They got rid of Spencer Long. Then they brought Brian. I don't know. I haven't kept track. He's been pretty good tonight. That's good. So, but that offensive line was so bad. These guys, the guys we have, they're talented. Now that Becton went down, it is what it is. But Morgan Moses, Mekhi Becton, AVT, Connor McGovern, dude, these are good linemen. Alex Van Roten is probably hovering around average. They got their asses kicked on Sunday, but it's a good line. Like there is a lot of potential. Even our depth is good. Evidenced by the fact that our left tackle went down and we have a left tackle in there that's an NFL starting left tackle or tackle. So I really do believe that the Jets offensive line is going to incrementally get better. If they don't, to me, it's coaching. That's what it is for me. It's like you have to figure out a way to be able to maximize your player's talent. Like this crap with Mims, like he needs to learn 3 positions before they'll put him on the field. Like to me, that sounds like you're making it more difficult for a talented player to play. Like, so maybe they're doing all that kind of stuff with all these guys. Like, I don't know. Maybe they all have to learn all 3 positions and you don't know what they're doing. I don't know. But if they can't get that line to play better, there's an issue. Look what Matt Rule got his and Joe Brady got out of their O-line. Their O-line was down to 3rd stringers in some cases. All right. So, and they played fairly well. They started to break down in the second half, 3rd quarter, 4th quarter, but they did a damn good job all game. So anyway, it's about the coaches. That's what it is right now. Everybody wants to jump and say this guy sucks, that guy sucks. Dude, that's not the way it goes. You need to be able to get your players in a position to succeed. Some guys do suck, but I don't think that's our group. I really don't. I watched Connor McGovern play when he replaced Paradis. I watched him as a guard. Like, he's a good offensive lineman, man. And he's smart too. So they just got to get it. They just got to get it down. But Christopher, back to your point, looking at Zach, if this is what kept happening, it's not a real evaluation like you're alluding to, because we saw that with Sam. If he's running around constantly, what's going on in his head is that he's never protected. So he will never have that ability to become Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, whoever else. He needs that time to become an NFL quarterback, and then fine, you can elude, rushers. That's all great. It's great that he has that, but you can't do that all day. You can't. It's going to wear on him. We saw what it did to Sam Darnold. Now, whether or not they're on equal footing as far as where they started, as far as talent goes, I don't know. But I will tell you that the same thing will happen, more than likely, if he keeps getting beat up. And that's the problem for me. Yeah, Adam, that's exactly it. We had trouble with stunts. When you're having trouble with simple stunts, they weren't even like crazy exotic. They were just guy hitting to the left and the other guy coming around, like very simple stuff. They were lost with it. That to me is schematic. These guys are offensive linemen. They were playing offensive line for years. They know how to do that unless they're doing an assignment in a scheme or they think that they have to do something other than what they should do, because the assignment is different. Like if my assignment is to go over here and get him, when a guy comes this way, I'm not thinking about him. Somebody else's assignment is that guy. You see what I mean? But then guess what? I got over here and McGovern was over here already. Oh shit. And then you got to jump around and now he's got you. We saw that all game. That's right. It's our coaching, man. But that said, they're new. John Benton isn't, though. But I would imagine that the cohesion between Benton, LaFleur, and Kavanaugh, like they got to get it down. Don't forget, man, we lost Greg Knapp this year, and that's people. I don't think anybody means to or that it's disrespectful or anything, but I think people undervalue how important he really was. And not diminishing his value to his family. It obviously supersedes what I'm saying. But as far as the Jets go, Napper was important. He was very important. I mean, everybody who's ever come in contact with him said he was like a major part of their growth as a player. Everybody. So, this is a good one. Hard Knocks is doing in-season coverage of the Colts. Really? That's really interesting, Jeremy. That's crazy. I didn't hear that. You guys watched the Dallas thing? I watched one episode. It bothered the hell out of me. I was like, this is stupid. That's how I felt. I felt like they were just looking for stories. It felt like a soap opera. And I don't remember it feeling like that. It had a little taste of it, but I feel like they're way off course with that thing. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? That's it, Mo Lake. So we have an experienced offensive line coach, 26 years in the league, regarded as one of the better offensive line coaches. Now, somebody said to me that maybe the Niners wanted him to go because they hate him because he sucks. Wait a minute. 5 runs. Oh, okay. So Barkley has 5 runs, 46. I'm sorry. I'm delayed on that one. Why don't we do this? Y2K. I'm gonna finish this little rant I'm on, and then I want to get into what the Patriots looked like this last week. Like, where were they? If you don't mind, if you can find out where they were offensively ranked, defensively ranked, and then particularly their defensive line and offensive line. Like, if we could just see, I want to see what we're up against as we kind of go from talking about last week's offensive line into this one. That would be super killer. So, all right. Let's see. Very happy with the progress Jets are making. Team played extremely well. Yeah, I mean, well, that's it. I would take out the word extremely, but I do agree, Vegas. I think they started to settle down. They played well. I did watch, like, I kept my eye on the defensive line, for the whole game, but I really focused on in the second half. And I got to tell you, there was a lot more pressure than you think in the second half. But that's the thing. Not to say Darnold didn't complete any passes. He did, but most of them, like 8 out of 10, were to C-Mac. That's it. And it's like, when you look at what the pressure did to him, just the pressure, just the threat, he was missing guys. He missed Terrace Marshall twice, just out of reach. DJ Moore once or twice, just out of reach. Robbie Anderson, there was another one on the sideline. Bryce Hall had him, but it was out of reach. It was like just this far out of reach. And that is Sam Darnold under pressure. The first half, we let him get way too comfortable. And then there's obviously the CMC thing. But man, the second half, we did play better. And let me tell you something. Shaq Lawson had quite a few times that he was back there. So again, he's only been on our team 2 weeks. Now we got some opportunities here, man. Crowder's coming back. Keelan Cole's coming back. I don't know what they're doing with Mims. I'm not buying a single word of what's going on. Now we're starting to hear trade rumors. I'm not into it, man. I'm not into it. I don't get it. So this is the thing. When I start looking at all this shit with the coaching, the offensive line and the play calling, all that stuff, and then you look at starting Fant over Moses, and now Mims isn't getting. It's like, I don't know. To me, it seems a little bit interesting. That's all I'll say. I don't have my axe out. I'm not chopping anybody's head off. I'm just saying, this is where I'm focused, So we are playing the New England Patriots. We're about to get to that. I want to get to Abstriku's super chat. Thank you, my friend. I so much appreciate it when you guys send super chats, and hopefully I never skip one again. So, okay, here we go. He says, should never have ditched Spencer Long. Had him shotgunning the ball with broken fingers. Great at guard, plenty of cap, another brilliant Mac move. Let me tell you something. I could not agree more. For 5 weeks, we still had him playing center. shotgun. Remember how bad it's over Darnold's head on the ground to the right. He clearly couldn't snap the ball. When they did move him over to guard at the end of the year, they put Harrison in at center and they moved Spencer Long to guard. It was fine. He played, I want to say exceptionally well, but he was solid. The next year we cut him with still 2 years on his contract and we never replaced him. We didn't even replace him. That's how bad we really were. So that's the thing. But I mean, I don't know why you cut guys when there's nobody here. You know what I mean? I get it. If you want to bring somebody in, okay. But I don't get that. We have nobody on the offensive line and you're cutting guys. Now, granted, he didn't play at the position you wanted him to, but he was still a good guard. I could not agree more, Striker. That one bothered the living hell out of me. Bothered the hell out of me. So, yeah, and that's the thing. Like, when you look at Joe Douglas and what he's done with the offensive line, the fact that they didn't gel yet does not mean he didn't do fantastic work bringing the offensive line in here. I mean, and look, we had a retirement. Cam Clark's on IR. Like, there's 2 more guys that were in the mix. Conor McGregor, Connor McDermott had his knee kicked and he's on IR. Like, crazy stuff. This is the Jets stuff. We got to just understand that stuff is going to happen as we build this team. It's going to happen. Our job is to have super crazy depth, and we do. We have super crazy depth on the offensive line. We have super crazy depth on the wide receiver core. We have decent depth in the running back room. We have, it's all crazy young depth, but we got a lot of them in the defensive back room, or let's just say cornerbacks. The safeties are getting rocked with injuries, man, and craziness. But that's the thing. When you look at it, we have depth, decent depth, man. And I don't know. I'm really happy with the way the team's been built, knowing that it's nowhere near done. I'm very happy with how we built the team. Don't love every move, but I'm very happy overall. The fact that they're not gelling, that's coaching, dude. 100%. These guys are good. They're definitely good enough not to be 32nd in the league. I will not accept otherwise. Won't. You can't tell me otherwise. I won't hear you. I can't hear it. I'm sorry. So we're playing. Thank you, though, Abstrike. I do appreciate it. Hope I just know I agree with you, brother. I agree 100%. So we're playing the New England Patriots. Now, look, last week, 1 week ago, right now, we were doing our schedule prediction. And we picked that the Patriots game would be a win. We picked that the Carolina game would be a win, too. Seeing what we saw last week, also knowing that we had no Crowder, no Keelan Cole, everybody's nerves, all the things we talked about. Do we still think that we're going to beat the Patriots? Or do we think that there's our minds are changed? Did we change our minds? Are we not going to beat the Patriots now? At home, first home game under the Saleh era. It was a Freudian slip. Era. So do we, I know, Frankie, I'm with you. I got my eyes on Benton too. But do we think we're going to beat the Pats? And while you answer that, so yes, we're going to beat them. No, we're not. Y2K sending us all kinds of information now. So right now, their offense is 16th in yards per game. Not bad. Middle of the pack. For a rookie, Mac Jones. Let me bring Y2K on here. You mind coming on real quick? You ready? Okay. There he is. Let me get this off. So, if you wouldn't mind, and I see a super chat in there. Let me just get this off real quick. As far as, so their offense is 16th in yards per game.
Right.
Do you know where ours was by any chance?
Yeah, I can pull that right back up. 1 moment.
So that's interesting. Don't forget, they have Mac Jones. It's funny. I heard a preview for our game, and they said the New York Jets are playing a rookie quarterback. They said the ballyhooed Mac Jones. I think that was the word they used, but either way, it was something to that effect. They didn't say that about Zach Wilson. They said it about Mac Jones. I'm telling you, revisionist history makes me laugh, man. It's like Mac Jones was an afterthought as far as the first quarterbacks went. Like, it's just funny how this all goes. But he is a rookie, and he did okay. So he's 16th. Where were the Jets in yards per game?
It's easier to start from the bottom and work your way up with these types of situations. The Jets are tied for 29th with the Pittsburgh Steelers at 252. The only two teams below them, if you can believe it, the Tennessee Titans and the Green Bay Packers.
Wow, we're in good company, Watu-K. I got to
There
say,
you go.
I'm impressed. Hey, when's the last time that our offense was categorized with the Green Bay Packers, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Tennessee Titans? When's the last time that happened, you think?
It's been a while. Well, I think we used to be categorized with the Titans offense when Jake Locker was their quarterback.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, we haven't been hanging around Pittsburgh's neighborhood in a long time. Welcome down here, Pittsburgh. It's good to see you again. Visit us more often, bunch of jerks. So we were the 29th offense, tied with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Patriots are the 16th yards per game offense. Now, what else did we see? What was their defense?
their defense is currently fifth in yards per game at 259 yards. And the Jets are tied for, it looks like, 14th with the Colts. They allowed 381 against the Carolina Panthers.
So wait, so who did the Colts did when? When was that? I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, we're tied with the Colts at 381 yards. I believe 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Tied for 14th. So we're pretty much right in the middle of the pack on defense.
So we're middle of the pack, and the Pats are bringing the fifth rated defense into MetLife. So we have the 29th ranked offense going against the fifth ranked defense. And I'll ask you for your opinion, then I want to hear it from the chat. How do you think we're going to fare? Do you think we got a shot here?
Even though we say we're over this game, the scars remain. And, I don't really care who the quarterback is. I have too much respect for the coach. But here's the one thing I will say. And if anything gives me hope, it's that this past week, the Patriots really beat themselves. They took 8 penalties and they fumbled 4 times. When was the last time we could say that about the Patriots? Doing that in any – they wouldn't even do that in a scrimmage. And if they did, there'd be guys getting new jobs. So, they had the ball for 36 minutes. They outran Miami 125-74 in this game. They beat themselves. Belichick is going to hammer those fundamentals home this week. Yeah. So I wish the Patriots were coming off a win from last week, to be honest with you. I'm not feeling optimistic.
That's interesting. And I see a few people they're sharing your sentiment. They're saying there's no way that we beat the Patriots. I think I saw Frankie and some others saying that we're not gonna win. I do want to welcome Anders Avila. He's coming in from Facebook. I chose to go on Facebook as well tonight. I don't usually choose that because there's a lot of spam that comes through Facebook. But I said, you know what? Let me just show some love to Facebook. I don't even know why. I just said, what the hell? And Andre is here. And I'm glad to see you, man. If you want to see the full chat, I'm not sure what you can see on Facebook, but the YouTube chat is usually a little bit more grand if you're into that sort of thing. But I'm glad to have you here. And I thank you for popping in through that medium. It's not what I see. So let's see what else you got here. So, look, with what you're saying, Watsuke, with the fact that the Patriots are coming off a loss makes them more dangerous, I can appreciate that. I really can. The other side to that is this particular brand of the Patriots doesn't know how to win yet. So once things start going awry, even though Belichick is still there, McDaniels is still there, even though those guys are still there, a lot of these guys don't know. They're not a part of that winning culture in New England. There's a whole new thing. Tom Brady's not there to save him in a close game in the fourth quarter. And don't forget, that's what he did. When you gave Tom Brady, we saw it, the first Monday night game or the first Thursday night game was with a minute and 20 seconds left. I'm telling you, I said, oh yeah, the Patriots, the Bucks are winning. It's Tom Brady. He's definitely going to get down there. And Dallas fans are, they're excited. Just sit down.
We all
they don't know.
Coach. We all
But we know. So Belichick doesn't have that anymore. So in the event things start, if they fumble a little bit, Mac Jones throws a pick, anything like that, we score a touchdown, there's a kickoff return, whatever it is, this team is not the same hardened team that we've been playing for the past 20 years. So it could be a good thing. It can be a slide. And not to say I'm counting on that, but those are the types of things that I think might be possible with this particular Patriots team that were not really so much possible the last 20 years. Or let's say, 20 years. 20 years. Jesus. I can't believe it's been that long on top of it. It's crazy. But that's an interesting point. So what other stats? What are we looking at here? The front seven. What's going on with them? Were they able to generate a bunch of pass rush?
You know what? In terms of finding grades for this, it's usually PFF. Some people like PFF and some hate it, as I've seen in the chat, and that's fine. So I'm finding what I can. I went to Sharp Analysis, and I think this is a website that updates the different positions as the season goes on. So this is about the best thing that I could find where I didn't have to, pay for a subscription. Even with the salary I'm on, it's not quite.
Yeah. I get it. No sweat.
All right, but seriously, so they ranked the New England front seven, 14th in the league, because they had Chase Winovich, who's now actually a backup. How is a front seven with Henry Anderson rated 14th? Somebody tell me that.
Yeah, I mean, right, Henry Anderson. Well, the thing with, a guy like Henry Anderson going to the Patriots, the thing that Bill Belichick does know how to do exceptionally well is to find the exact role that any particular player is going to succeed in and letting them do that. And that's the problem, like with what I have with Mims, is them, having guys learn other positions, that's great. But if they know their position, they should be playing if they're talented enough to play. So it sounds like we're doing the opposite of getting someone on the field and doing the job that they know how to do, as opposed to Bill Belichick, who even a guy like Henry Anderson, who's solid. I mean, he had moments for us. Overall, he's solid, not spectacular. That's kind of his thing. But I think Bill Belichick putting these guys together, they actually have that potential where we don't know what our coaches can do yet. You know what I mean? And we saw it. They made nice adjustments and everything, but the way they started the game, they did not have the correct game plan in place, and we got smacked around for it. So, but they were able to generate some pressure. Did they get any sacks on Tua? I watched their game, but admittedly, I was very distracted when I was doing it. So I saw Tua getting chased around, but I don't remember if they had any sacks. Did they sack him at all?
They did. They had a couple of sacks. Let's go through it. As a matter of fact, Kyle Van Noy had one, who, by the way, is not practicing this week with a throat issue. He may not play this. That's important. And Josh, I may mispronounce the name, but Uche, the linebacker from Michigan, he had one sack as well.
Okay.
So
it
looks like
they got a couple
sacks. Yeah, it was
a couple sacks.
One sack. Was that it? Yeah, the website wants to take me back to the Dolphins automatically. Yeah, it was those two sacks. That was it.
Okay. So look, Belichick's going to come with a whole bunch of exotic pressure. There's that word again. He's going to dial up all sorts of stuff to try to confuse, frighten, make Zach Wilson see ghosts, for lack of a better term. He's going to do that, and he's going to try to crush them. What we have to do is simplify and go back to basics, back to fundamentals, do our job the best we can. Don't overload our brand new team. And I think we can handle it if we do that. And hopefully our coaches are smart enough to do that, not just keep trying to, jam a square peg in a round hole. There's a fine balance between needing to continue with your systems. I get it. At the same time, if they don't have it, you have to look at what's most important. And what's most important is Zach Wilson's health and longevity in this league, because I'm telling you, many more games like the other day, that last sack alone frightened me, quite frankly. That was a very tough sack. And many more of those. I don't know how much longer we're going to see this kid. It'll be one more guy that's on injured reserve or whatever, and we're watching a Mike White season, which then I'm telling you, a whole bunch of us will be rooting for a tank, just like that. That's what it'll be. But Y2K, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Good stuff. And let me see what the chat says. So I'll bounce you back in a little bit. But thank you, man. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Here he is. Y2K. How awesome is that, man? That guy's the best. So I want to get to this super chat real quick, and then I want to hear your thoughts on the Patriots. I see a bunch of comments coming in. I want to check what you guys are saying there. Sneakers to Boots, thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. Let's bring it back to 2009, Week 2 Sunday. Rookie quarterback and coach beat Belichick, the mastermind. Think Mims' situation will get worse this week, though. Him and Becton are fan favorites. Will be interesting. Well, look. We heard that thing about Mims trading this, might be requesting a trade. I don't know how much. Again, I backed it up like 2 or 3 tweets, whatever it was, and it wasn't anywhere solid, at least as far as I went back with it. It was just somebody talking. So I don't know how real that is, but I will say, man, you got to get that guy on the field. And I don't know what the problem is. There's something there. Whether he's an idiot for the first time in his whole career, if he's lazy for the first time in his whole career. The only knock on Mims is that he's kind of mellow. He doesn't have that, he's not like a, loud, passionate guy, but he's very good and works hard at what he does. He's just mellow, So anyway, but as far as bringing it back to 2009, I mean, look, many people say that was the loudest that they ever heard Giant Stadium. That was the last year in Giant Stadium, as we know. That game against the Patriots, there was a packed house, sunny day, and we beat them, man. And we beat them. Don't forget, up until 2011, Rex was 3-2 against Belichick, man. So there was a time we had it. It's not something that's insurmountable here. We just have to play disciplined, smart football, and we'll beat them. We're talented, man. We have a lot of talent. When you look at guys like Zach Wilson, AVT, Elijah Moore, Corey Davis, Mims, Cole, Crowder, we have a lot of talent on the team. Even defensively, they're all young. There's a whole bunch of young guys, but we have talent there. CJ Mosley, by the way, finished his first game as a New York Jet, guys. Can we just take a second? CJ Mosley is his third year with us. He just finished his first full game as a New York Jet. Now, I don't want to jinx it. I'm going to knock on a little bit of wood. Get that done. But, man, see, we have talent. We got Sheldon Rankins. We got Quinn and Wynn. These guys are just going to get better. It was game 1. Everybody's going to get better. Bryce Hall's very good. Brandon Eccles, Javelin Guidry, Michael Carter. Michael Carter II's impressive, man. So these guys are good. We still got Marcus May. I mean, we have talent. This isn't those teams that we look down the roster up, but like, these guys are losers, man. It's not like that. We have holes and we have work to do, but we have a talented roster. If we can settle it down and just play smart football, we might have something here. Okay. All right. I see you, Y2K. I'll bring you back in a second. So, but think Sneakers to Boots, I'm with you. And I think the Mims situation, I think it could go either way. In my opinion, what I'm choosing to believe is Mims plays this week. That's what I'm choosing to believe. That's what I think. I think Mims plays. I think he might not play to where I want to see him play, but I think he'll get probably 15 snaps, 20 snaps kind of a thing. And I think he's going to have an impact. Here's my Mims prediction. 15 snaps, 5 receptions, 62 yards. All right? What do you think of that? 5 for 62, Denzel Mims, and 5 touchdowns. Yeah. Now, 5 for 62 yards. What do you think of that? All right. Let me catch up a little bit. Let me see what you guys are saying. Let's see what David Gerard's saying. He says, David Gerard says, in my opinion, they're Brady's rings. Belichick is a good coach, but Brady's most of the reason. Here's what I say. It's not taking anything away from how good of a coach Bill Belichick is to agree with that, man. He had literally the greatest quarterback of all time. I hate saying it. I really do. It still bothers the living hell out of me that I got to say that. But truth is truth, man. Okay? Bill Belichick's a very good coach, and he might have a ring or two. He may, without Tom Brady. But we saw Bill Belichick with Bernie Kosar. We saw Bill Belichick, I believe, with Testaverde. Maybe not. I think it might have. I don't think Testaverde was there yet. We saw Bill Belichick with Drew Bledsoe. Two very good quarterbacks. And they couldn't get it done. Tom Brady comes in the fold and everything changed. Now, again, I'm not taking anything away from him. But when you remove Tom Brady, we're going to see how well he can coach. And he might come out and win a ring. I don't know. But like David is saying, and he had another, this is his follow-up. And until I'm proven otherwise with Belichick, I will die on that hill. Dave, I'm going to come and bring you a sandwich, buddy. I'll hang out on that hill with you for a little while, buddy. Tell me what you want. You want a chicken parm? You want a fresh mozzarella and roasted peppers on some ciabatta? What do you want? You want a cup of golden provolone? Hey, what do you want? I'm in. I want all that stuff. Dude, let me tell you something. You know what I might do? Are you guys familiar with Harold's Deli over there in Secaucus? I think it's in Secaucus. But it used to be, the Harold's Deli used to be in Parsippany, right near my house. If you guys haven't been to Harold's Deli, dude, you're going to look at the menu and go, why the hell would I pay $35 for pancakes? It's because the pancakes, let me see, are this big. The first time I got them, I took my girlfriend there years ago. And when the pancakes came, we laughed. We laughed at them. Their sandwiches are bigger than your head. That's with the meat. They're $35. That's a small. I think the small is 25. The large is 55, something like that. More meat than your head. They encourage you to buy one sandwich for two people. When you order corned beef hash for breakfast, like, you say a side of corned beef hash, it's a pound. Of course, it's a whole plate. Where's it? The plate is like this big, heaped with corned beef hash. Dude, it's the craziest place in the world. I think I'm going to go there. That's what I think. I might have to find somebody to go with me. Maybe David. Maybe we'll call Harold's our hill. We'll go die up there. You know what I mean? So Bruh XRP says, if we had Zach in 2009 or 11, those were guaranteed Super Bowl wins. It's sad. It's like the one time that we had a seriously dominating team. I really do look like I'm sweating. I'm not, though. Hold on. These damn wipes, man. I use these, what are they? Like Captain Jack or something. I don't know what the hell they are. I never do that. I never like go and buy like stuff made for men. I'm not into that shit. Except beard stuff, obviously, that's made for men. But I don't like that stuff. Like, for men. Like, what is in there that's for men? Has it got testosterone in it? Has it got spaghetti? What is it? Meatballs? But I look. Oh, no. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. See, my camera died. Can you tell mommy that the camera died? See if she can come out of here. Hold on. See, I got backups and everything. It's crazy over here. I don't know why the batteries die so much. But anyway, I'm with you. For FOC, this is not your grandmother's Patriots. We can beat these guys. I like that. That's a good way to say it.
You have the battery, she said.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it though. Can you bring that? Just here. You're gonna have to take the whole tripod. Don't do it. Don't worry about it. I'll finish with this. This is fine.
2 seconds later, oh, I'm done.
This is fine. Sorry, guys. If we trade Mims, we need to get him on the field to get him some value. I know. Either way, any way you slice it, the guy needs to play. I don't know why we would be talking about trading Denzel Mims. He's one game into his second season. He already has a 40-yard catch in 3 plays. I'm so sick of it. Yeah, I know. Sorry, guys. Pause bean. Let's see. Right. Carmelo, that's it. It's right. Like, I don't have any problem with Braxton Berrios. None at all. I like him. I think he's an asset. It's good to have. Hold on. Now we're doing all kinds of weird stuff with the cameras. But you cannot tell me that he's as good as Denzel Mims. You can't do it. I will not believe it. What's going on with this thing? Now it's doing this. Why? I just shut it off. Is the camera ready? Hold on. I'm going to try to go back to the other camera. Hold on. Let me see if I can do this. It says it's ready. Hold on, guys. Bear with me.
Bear
Nope.
with me.
Oh, I did it. Is that the good camera? Yeah, it's a good one. Thank you, lovey doves. That's so good. See that? So give him a bob. Belichick stepped into the biggest, smelliest, gross pile of SHIT and has ridden Brady for 2 decades. Yeah. And look, you can see it. Brady went down to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and literally took a team that hasn't been in the playoffs in however many years and brought them to the Super Bowl and won it in dominating fashion. Dominating. It wasn't even a game. So I don't know. So let's see. I agree. That's what I think. Mims can do. Let me tell you something about Mims. The guy has never been a problem on any team. He's never been an issue as far as learning an offense. And somebody said to me, and we were talking on Twitter, and they reminded me, well, this offense is more complex. Fair enough. And that Matt Rule, who was Denzel Mims' coach in college, he knew how to use Denzel Mims to fantastic success. So why aren't we doing that? Why can't our coaching staff figure out how to do that? You have a 6'3" wide receiver who catches everything and can burn people. He's got let's just call it 4.4 speed. People get mad when you say 4.3, even though it's a 4.38 40 that he clocked in on. Let's say 4.4. You know how fast 4.4 is for a 6'3" wide receiver? And on top of that, a major issue we were having was blocking. And Denzel Mims blocks very well. I don't know. I don't know what. For me, I would be figuring out ways to get him on the field with all due respect to Braxton Berrios and secondarily, even to Jeff Smith. I got nothing against Jeff Smith, but Jeff Smith running around. There were a few plays I watched. One in particular where Zach tried to hit Jeff Smith. He was covered, dude. He didn't lose anybody. Denzel Mims, his knock, and people say he's got to be run crisper routes. He's more disciplined. Fair enough. But he still figures out a way to get open a lot of the time. It doesn't look maybe as pretty as an Elijah Moore, but he still gets open. And when he doesn't, he high points the ball and catches with his hands. I mean, I don't know. That's just it. What is the problem, Cardoza? What is the problem with having Corey Davis and Denzel Mims on the field together? What is the problem? If you're in an 11 personnel, or even 21, I guess, let's say you're in 11 personnel. You have Ty Johnson in, who should be the starting running back. There's another issue I have with the staff. See what I'm saying? I could stack them up. That's why I know it's coaching. You put Ty Johnson in the backfield. You got Tyler Kroft at tight end, and you got 3 receivers. Corey Davis, Denzel Mims, both very, very strong blockers, and Jamison Crowder and/or Elijah Moore. That's your team. They're going to beat everybody. Make sure Tyler Kroft is at bare minimum chipping the pass rusher, their right edge rusher, defensive end. He's at least chipping him. They can go out and be a safety valve or stay in and block, whatever. Ty Johnson, who did not do a good job blocking, he can, so we can help guys back there. They both go out in our safety valves if the guys aren't getting open. But Denzel Mims, Jamison Crowder, or Corey Davis, one of them is going to be open every day of the week. How come we're not seeing that? It's more complicated. Yeah, I get it. But it shouldn't be. And that's the problem I have. If our staff is so complicated that they can't figure out how to use players and they still have to start Tevin Coleman and Fant at right tackle, and you run Tevin Coleman 9 times instead of Ty Johnson, or Michael Carter for that matter. I'm just saying, you're starting on the wrong foot. So that to me, when then you look at the offensive line, then you look at the pass rush, and all you start looking at these things. To me, it looks like the coaches don't know what they're doing yet, and they'll get there. Like, I know I sound angry and like I'm bashing. I'm not. I'm just being real. Like, I love what Joe Douglas put together. I like this staff. I really do. I really do. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to defend what they did. To me, it is so much clearer that what was going on was coaching deficiencies rather than individual players. Now that's excluding the dropped passes and stuff like that. Of course, that's the player. If he's open and the ball gets there and he drops it, I mean, you can't blame a coach for that. But I'm with you, buddy. AC, see, that's the thing. He has a bad attitude. It's literally never been his knock. Never. It's never been his knock. So he has a bad attitude suddenly here, this year. We didn't hear any of that last year, and he had the worst coach in the NFL. That's the thing. Like, we're hearing all this stuff, but none of it matches the Denzel Mims that we know. He's just super mellow. So that could be perceived as lazy sometimes or whatever. He's just super, super relaxed. It's just how he is. Every time I hear him talking, I'm always like, I don't know. I always feel like that. I always feel like, I wish this guy would have some energy. Even on his call from Joe Douglas, he was like, yeah, I'm cool. It's just, you can't blame a guy for that. Frankie from Flatbush checks in and says, Mims was a 4-sport athlete in high school, including being a baseball pitcher. He's a tremendous asset. Right. This was the first batch of guys that can't figure out how to use him, except for Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold couldn't figure it out either. Joe Flacco had no problem. Joe Flacco had no problem finding Mims. And Darnold did a few times as well, but we saw the last 3 games, it was as if Mims wasn't playing. And he was open. So I don't know. Right. David Gerard. Very good. A criticism, though, for good coaching is the ability to use the weapons you have. Figure out how to use Mims if you are a good coach. I cannot agree more, man. And that's what it boils down to. Now, if they're protecting something that's like, he's got, look, I'm just going to, like, he's got some sort of sexually transmitted disease and they don't want anybody to know and he can't. Okay. But I doubt it. You know what I mean? That's the thing. It's weird. Right. Frankie says it again. He's an introverted guy from a very small town, probably misunderstood. But that's the thing. It's like Matt Rule didn't misunderstand him. Matt Rule got him on the field and designed plays for him. Hitch routes. He's very good. Back shoulders. And then contested catch. Just throw it up. He's 6'3". And good vertical. Super long arms. And catches with his hands. That's how he prefers to catch, with his hands out front. That's what you want, man. Isn't that funny, though, Blunt at Vegas? I know. I sometimes I think that it's funny. Like, and clearly we're not. You know what I mean? Like, clearly we're not. We don't have anywhere near the same information that they have. But I got to tell you, many, many times, Vegas, I've been right. Many times. I'm wrong, too. I don't want to sound like that. But there are many times when I was looking at something, I said, this is this. And for whatever reason, the Jets brass wouldn't do it, and then he goes somewhere else and he's good or whatever. We don't pick him, whatever. It's just the list goes on. And it's just like, yeah, if you would listen to the damn fans, like that's the thing. Like when people say that, every now and then I'll say we, like I say we all the time. Like when I'm talking about the Jets, I say we. And people say, what? Are you on the team? And I say, fuck yeah, I'm on the team. I've been here longer than any of these guys. This is just a new face that I get to bitch about. I'm the one who's been here since I'm 10 years old. I'm the one who goes to the game. I'm the one who buys this stuff. Damn right it's a we. I've been here before these guys, and I'm going to be here after these guys, barring the sudden death, of course. But man, We see it. They should ask us more. They should have a fan council, in my opinion. They should have me and 5 other guys in there and say, here's what we're up against. What do you think? We just got to promise to be quiet, sign a little waiver, not tell anybody what's going on. Guys, we know you got a finger on the pulse of the team and what's been going on here the last 40 years. Here's what we're looking at. What do you guys think? That's what they should do. I'd sign up for that in 10 seconds. And they go, but here's the piece of information that you don't have. I go, oh, great. So Mims is mellow. How about we play him anyway? Huh? How about that? How about some guys aren't practice players? Some guys are gamers. How about that? How about he'll never blow your doors off in practice? Can he not play because he doesn't do your practice thing? He had his best week of practice all year. That's what they said on Friday. He had his best week of practice the whole time. 3 plays, that's what he earned? Sorry, you don't know 9 positions yet. You don't know how to block from the left guard position yet. You're not a running back. Why is he learning the why? Why? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not against them learning it, sure. But that shouldn't be prohibitive to game time, to playing time. That's all I'm saying. So, yeah, Mark, I get it. But then we're at a disadvantage. Like, I'm totally into having a type, okay? I'm totally into that. But you cannot exclude good, highly talented individuals because they don't fit your small little thing. Now, if they're complete divas or they're troublemakers or more work than they're worth, sure, I can see that. Talented guy, but I still don't want him here, that kind of thing. But I don't see what the problem is with Mims. You know, Salah's a people guy, absolutely, but he's also a green head coach and he's never done this before. And he's probably making offensive decisions that he's never been involved with in his whole career. Never. So he's going to LaFleur. Believe me when I tell you. He's saying to LaFleur and Benton and Calabrese and those guys and Miles Austin and whatever, you say, hey, what do you guys think? They'll start who you want to start. So it's them. So I'm with you, Mark. But I don't think Salah is the one evaluating Mims. Salah's the head coach. He's letting his offensive staff do what they do. And they have their reasons. I'm not discounting that. I see everybody saying, oh, the Jets, you know more than the Jets. Yeah, I'm not saying I know more than the Jets. I'm saying they're making a mistake. And whatever their reasons are, I'd love to hear them. That's fucking learning 3 positions thing doesn't sit well with me. It doesn't. That's to me, that's a terrible answer. And if I was in the room, I would have said as much. Just, excuse me, can you elaborate? Because that answer doesn't compute. That answer doesn't make it over here. It's like I can't take that and make it into a viable reason for Mims not to play. Can't do it. How about he learns the 1 position? And if it's 10 plays, you get him out there those 10 plays to play the 1 position because he's a dynamic player. That's why. You know what I'm saying? I don't disagree, Mark. I think you're probably onto something, honestly. But I don't know if it's Salah's decision. You know what I mean? Damn it, Budster. Why are you coming with that news? What quarter is it, guys? What quarter is it? Giants 20, Washington 17. Follower of Christ, I could not agree more. I think loved him in college. I loved him in the draft. I loved that we picked him. I loved what he did last season after he got back from his injury. I love him now. Nothing happened during that time for me to all of a sudden believe that he's not a hard worker, not a talented kid, not getting the job done, not absorbing the offense. Doesn't make sense. Something's new. There's a new factor, a variable in this equation, and it's not Mims. That said, I'm giving the staff time, but that doesn't mean I don't have to lie, that I have to like everything they do. I don't. You know what I mean? Right. If you want to bet, we'll probably, we've already traded with them down there. I don't know how Joe Douglas could do it. Matt Rule did all that jersey stuff, signing James Morgan. I wouldn't trade with them for nothing. Now, Joe Douglas doesn't strike me as somebody who's governed by thoughts like that. That's me. I have an emotionally based foundation a lot of the times. I can get to logical. I can. But my first reaction, I'm like, get out of here. I'd rather go broke than work for you. Like, that's the kind of guy I am. You know what I'm saying? I do that all the time. Don't worry, Friggle D. You're here, dude. You're good. New staff. And that's just it. Like, look, we're going to complain about it, AC. And I do want to see Mims succeed here. I want to see him used, and I want to see him succeed. I'd like to believe this coaching staff can accomplish that. But the truth is they're new. They're green. Salah's never been a head coach. He doesn't know how to run the whole show yet. Not saying he's not doing a good job and getting there, but he's at the end of this year, he's going to be a different man than he is right now. Is that a fair enough point? Anybody who does anything, anybody's the first year that you're in a leadership position, a manager, director, whatever, you change. And you look back at yourself when you first walked in the door as ready as you thought you were. You're like, oh my God, I didn't know what I was talking about. I don't know. So what do we got? See, that's a good. Terry Monroe is a good. It's very good. I like this. It's like in basketball. If you have a 3-point shooter like JJ Redick, don't ask him to drive to the basket. Let him do what he does. Let Mims do what he does. 4-3-8 streaks, and I'm good with that. Right? Have him do posts all day long or hitch routes. Send him across the middle. He's not afraid of it. Send him across the middle. Just a quick slant. Throw it to him and watch him level the cornerback and run for 7-8 yards after the catch until the safeties catch up with him. That's it. Let him do that all game. You could throw to Mims every single play. And then when you're running it, he's going to take a man out for you. Unlike whatever the hell it was we were doing on Sunday. You know what I mean? So, all right. Well, look. Let's see what I'm gonna catch up. I'm way back in the chat here. You guys are awesome, man. You guys just keep talking. I just love it so much. I'm sorry when I can't get to, like, if you guys are trying to get comments up there, I'm sorry if I can't get to it. It's never intentional, but you guys say legitimate stuff, like actually thought-provoking, interesting things. So we talk about them for a little while. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. Vegas, we all want Davis Mims more in the slot. Wait, it will happen. Hey, your mouth to God's ears, my friend. I love it. Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention that. Follower price, that's good. Let me just tell you for a second. One of the things that helps my algorithm, helps what I'm doing out here. Don't forget, this is all volunteer. You know what I mean? I just spend hours. The whole day I've been shooting the new Homer and Hater, and I got to finish editing it tonight. It takes a long time. So something you could do to show your appreciation is hit the like button, hit the sub button if you haven't subscribed yet. It's super important. And then if you want to support me further, if you like what I do and you want to support, you can hit the Patreon. The information is in the description of this video. You get 3 tiers, 5, 10, 25. If you'd like to support me with a little donation, that would be great too. It's really helpful, man. You'd be surprised how helpful it is. Anyway, don't forget to consider those things. I'm greatly appreciative when you do. Let's see. So how much time is left in the Giants game? Did you tell me already? It's 23-17 now. Giants, boo. Well, 2K. What's going on with that? New York Giants field goal? Geesh. What happened to the pass rush? Well, you're saying their pass rush looks good. So the Giants figured out a way. Jason Garrett figured out a way to still have an offense, even though they're rushing the passer. Is that accurate? Really? I didn't know you can do that. I thought once they decided to rush the passer, that you didn't have an offense anymore. Isn't that the rules? Oh, that's interesting. That's right, Frankie. 9 routes all day, 3 times. He'll be open. Easy touchdowns. That's right. So good. It's like it's so easy to do. Let me see. I was always let me see here. Look, he can do his route tree is not exactly limited. He can do everything, just about. Now again, he's not the crispest, but he knows how to get open. He figures it out. So here we go. Mark Reed, Jets Super Bowl 2023. I'm down. We just need to see improvement. Let's keep it focused on what it is that we're really trying to do here. What we're really trying to do is on a weekly basis, improve, progress. If you think that young cornerback group is going to look like they did the other day against everybody, you're sadly mistaken. It's not happening. They're going to get torched. It doesn't mean that we throw them all in the garbage. You know what I'm saying? When Michael Carter II gets burned for 2 touchdowns in one game, it doesn't mean he sucks. It means he has to learn. That's what it is. Like, believe me, a lot of their great plays was because Sam missed guys. Some of their great plays were because they blanketed them. A lot of what happened, there wasn't a lot of stress on them because Christian McCaffrey was taking it over. They didn't need to do anything else. That's it. It's all he needed to do. So we got to remember that. So Marky Reed, thank you, man. Is that a super sticker? I don't know if you put a question in there. If you got a question, let me know. I'll try to find it for you. But thank you anyway. I do appreciate it. It's greatly appreciated. In fact, you're a good man. You had some good comments today too, Mark. I appreciate that just as much. 82. Cardoza says 82 yards and a touchdown on the ground for Daniel Jones. Damn. 82 yards on the ground, huh? I don't know. Daniel Jones running doesn't seem like that's what you want to do with him. V-Man, thank you, my friend. I watched almost every video on your channel the other night. I think you see that, right? Almost. I think 1 or 2 I missed. Hey, GreenBean, if New England plays that sloppy at home, imagine how sloppy they play on the road with opposing fans screaming like there's no tomorrow. There you go. It's a good point. It's a good point, man. If any of you are going to the game, and I am, I'm bringing Homer and Hater with me. We're all going, all 3 of us. I'm bringing 3 people with me. I'm hanging with O'Leary and Ryan and Sack Exchange and everybody else. We're going to be going there, and I'm telling you right now, I'm going to be loud. I'm going to be way upstairs, so I'm going to have very minimal impact. But if we can, as a crowd, be loud, dude, it has an impact, man. It does. It has an effect on the game. We need to remember that. And we need to be relentless from the word go. And just because something happens that isn't good doesn't mean we sit on our hands and shut up. We got to be loud. If you're going, be loud. I didn't pay $110 for a parking pass for nothing, which is bullshit, by the way. I'm not even going to get into that. I cannot believe they charge over $100 to get in there for parking. Like it's $80 for the parking pass and then service charges and processing fees. And dude, it's out of control. $20 parking. I remember I pulled into Sun Life Stadium, it was Hard Rock Stadium, Miami, and it was $45 to park. I almost left just on that alone. I'm like, what is this? I already bought a ticket. It's like they know that you already spent $300-$400 on tickets, so you're gonna pay whatever they have. I don't like that, man. It's predatory. It's taking advantage of people. I don't like it. That said, sorry. I want to go down that rabbit hole. But that said, I'll be there. And since I did pay that much money for a friggin' parking pass, I'm going to be screaming. I'm going to be yelling. I'm going to bring cameras and everything, and I want to get as much energy as I can to feed back to the guys who couldn't be there. We're going to have a good old time. So you paid $35, this bastard. Well, hey, man, not everybody has a Jet sales rep to talk to. You should help me out, John. What happened, man? We broke bread together, man. You know? No. Hold on, Mo Dean. I'll get you. Dude, you can't blame Mo Lewis. You can't. That's one of Budster, with all due respect. That's one of the narratives that I dislike the most among Jets fans. Mo Lewis was probably the best linebacker we ever had. Probably. If not, he's top 3 ever. 12 years of absolute domination. And he crushed one of the better quarterbacks in the league for us. It just so happens that they had a 6th-round loser who ended up being the greatest quarterback of all time. Can't blame Mo for doing what we want him to do. We loved that hit. We loved it. We got to get off Mo's back for that, man. I love Mo Lewis. Mo Lewis was my favorite player those years. My favorite. I loved him. When Parcells came, Mo, Marvin, and Brian Cox, damn. They were taking care of business, man. All right, John. Well, now you tell me, you bastard. Thank you, though. If I go again, I have the app. I don't know. So, okay. Mo Lewis was a beast. Right. You got to tell Budster. Him and 50 other million Jets fans are mad at Mo. Don't get mad at Mo. I'd like to talk to Mo. I'd like to get a conversation with him. He was my favorite, man. He was such a good player. I remember when he first came in the league, when we drafted him, the other linebacker that we had was Joe Kelly. Remember Joe Kelly? He had the big neck thing. And Mo came in out of nowhere. He was great instantly. He was so good, man. It was like, who's that? Look at this guy. I wasn't a draft geek yet, you know? Yeah. He said Drew Bledsoe went to the hospital after that hit. Yeah, and look, we're not rooting for anybody to have, collapsed lungs. I'm like, I never root for that. But, dude, I love good hitting. And that was one of the best hits I ever saw. It was crushing. Yes?
Where's my clarity?
Hold on. I saw it. I don't know. Look over there or something. Look around. So, sorry. Joseph Grana says, I was in the owner luxury box when Mo crushed Bledsoe. After that hit, we all thought the game was over. No one knew the hell Brady. Remember that? I was there too. I wasn't in the luxury box. We thought that was it. We thought the Pats were done. Tom Brady came. He looked good right away too. He drove back. It was crazy. We're like, who is this guy? I'm pretty sure we still ended up holding on and winning the game, but it was scary. It was like, wait a minute. Why is this guy coming in? I think I could have it all jumbled up a long time ago. Steven had a man crush on Kerry Rhodes. I liked Kerry Rhodes for a little bit, but he was the beginning of the showboat stuff. I still remember there was one play where he sacked the quarterback and there was a fumble, but instead of going for the fumble, he chose to get up and dance. Yeah, look at me, how good I am. And there was a ball rolling around in the field. Right there, I'm like, I hate him. Yeah. So, yeah, we needed, right. That's the only thing Mo Lewis didn't do was crush the other guy. That's what he should have did. Poor Mo Lewis, Budster. Poor Mo. It really is. I mean, look at all the people we've had. Like that was like before Parcells, wasn't it? Tom Brady, wasn't it? Like think of the lifetimes of organizations we've had, and they've had Tom Brady. He's still here. I hate that guy. 2320. Thank you, Big Green and Wat2K. So let's do this. Wat2K, I'm gonna think we're gonna end it. This is good. It's 2 hours in. I think we did a good job. I'm gonna bring you on to say goodbye. See if you have any final thoughts. Thanks for the info. So I thought we'd have a little bit more going on, but you saw how I got on rants and soapboxes and stuff. You know that. But anyway, what do you think? Are we gonna win? I'm sorry. Go on.
Yeah, you were on a roll. Well, I've already given my thoughts on the game. I'm not feeling overly optimistic. I'll throw out a couple of things here. I'm not going to give you a ton of stuff. I don't want to take up too much time. But one thing, Trent Brown, their offensive right tackle, he went out of that game, and their offensive line really deteriorated afterwards. just to give you an example, Damian Harris, their running back, he had 23 carries for 100 yards. Well, one of those carries was for 35 yards, and that was
Right.
before Brown went out of the game. So getting that edge rush, John Franklin Myers, Bryce Huff, Shaq Lawson, they have an opportunity to do something there. Also, I'm expecting a lot of Patriots to play in the 12. So one running back, two tight ends, Smith and Henry played that way 32 times against Miami. Now, we know how good they are at catching the ball, but run blocking, not so hot. They tried, the Patriots, 8 carries outside. You know how many yards they gained on 8 carries? 14 yards against Miami.
Wow.
So, yeah, so they're not too good at rushing the ball outside. They're going to try to go up the middle. And on our end, we need to do the same thing. I know that we're all down on the interior offensive line. I get it. Last week, Miami ran for 4.8 yards per carry against New England. Most of those were up the middle. And last year, New England was 26th in run defense. So AVT, Connor McGovern especially, this is an opportunity for them to step up, have a big game, and turn all the negative stuff that we're saying tonight, that all the fans are saying, they could turn that right around. So running up the middle is going to be pretty big.
I like this Y2K fella. I like that. Those were important takes, man. I'm really glad that you got an opportunity to share it with this host. He keeps talking all friggin' night. So I'm really happy that you did. But that's look, again, I'm never rooting for injuries. And if I had my druthers, every team would be at 100% every game. That's what I prefer. But it is worth mentioning. If Trent Brown is not going to play, that's worth mentioning. So is it definitely he's not going to play, or he's questionable?
He did not even show up to practice today. So yeah, it's not like he was there riding the stationary bike or doing individual drills. He wasn't there today. It's pretty big. It's like those calves, you know, if I don't know if how many people out there have had a calf injury. I run, so I've had some calf tightness, and it doesn't go away easily. You think you're good, but then it comes back.
Right.
So especially with those quick explosions, with those, you know, quick sprints, and you're just trying to explode into a defensive lineman. Yeah, you need your lower legs to provide a good base for you when you're carrying that weight.
It's a great point, man. It really is. So that would be an additional positive. Again, I don't want to make it sound like I'm happy anybody's out, because I, honest to God, never am. It's not just lip service. I always want to beat teams when they're at 100%. That's what I prefer. And I prefer us to be at 100%.
I'm looking for positivity where I can find it.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep for it.
But I love it. I think that's good. And the run stuff, you know, what they were able to do against Miami was able to do against Patriots is also very important. And that was also a very good point. That 35-yard run came very early in the game. It was like the second run of the game or something like that. It was really early. And so it kind of pads the stats. You see the rest of the game, they were only able to get 70 yards or whatever it was, 65 yards. Yeah. So that is also in our favor. So, yeah, man. Well, look, thank you for hanging out. I got a couple super chats. I'll leave you on here if you don't mind. And then until we wrap it up, is that okay?
Let's do it.
All right. So, John Amarella, it's super funny. And I appreciate the humor almost as much as I appreciate the super chat itself. He says, subsidizing the parking pass. Where can we find you on Sunday morning? So I appreciate that, man. That was well done. So thank you. We're going to be, I'll be in the stadium by 9 a.m. I just might be waiting at the gate to get in. I want to be able to fucking get the parking space I want. Sorry for that. I don't know why I dropped an F-bomb there, but I want to try to get to where I want to be. I will be hanging out at Jetnation's tailgate for a little while just to see those guys and hang out for a little bit. But I think a larger portion of our day is going to be in Lot J at the Gotham City tailgate. If you don't know about that, you go on their website or maybe their Twitter or Instagram. There's information about it. You can pay, I think it's $60, all you can eat and drink. I'm not sure if there are any availability left, if there's any availability left, but if you're going, it would be really cool to get involved. But you can still come hang out. You just can't eat and drink if you don't pay the $60. But you'll notice it. It's super loud, super rowdy. all that sort of stuff. They have a whole big setup. I believe there's like huge signs and stuff like that. So just look for Gotham City Crew, and you'll see me with Ryan and Matt and Sack Exchange and a whole bunch of other people, I'm sure. But I want to make a comment. Raul said something funny. Raul Barrios, he said, I made it sound like Matt and Ryan are Homer and Hater. I didn't realize I did that. Just to clarify, they are not Homer and Hater. Homer and Hater are two of my personalities that live in this brain I carry around. But yeah, that's funny. I hope nobody really thought that. But yeah, that's funny, Raul. And thank you for pointing that out. Who is our other outside linebacker, real quick? Well, Blake Cashman and Jamie Sherwood are out. We may resort to a lot more 4-2-5. I'm not sure, but we did sign DJ Brown, I think his name is, right? DJ Brown or DJ Moore?
BJ Goodson.
BJ Goodson. What'd I say? DJ Moore?
Excellent tackler. I like this.
Yeah. Well, the problem with him is that he has had a difficult time staying healthy. So let's hope, man.
Last year.
Let's hope. And we had an opportunity. There was a missed opportunity this week. We did have Avery Williamson in the house. I thought that would be really cool. Even though we know he's not quite the player he was a few years ago, it still would have been nice to finally see C.J. Mosley and Avery Williamson on the field for the New York Jets. Yeah. We didn't get to see that, as we all know. And I don't know. I really hope that they would consider bringing him in. Like if Blake Cashman and Sherwood, these guys aren't going to come back, go grab Avery Williamson. He's sitting at home. He's a good player. He's at least solid. So I don't know, but I'm with you. I think they made a good move. I'm glad this guy was out there. So I think that's who we'll end up seeing. Let me just make BJ Goodson. I know it's the names that come out of my mouth sometimes. I don't know what's going on.
Philip. Phil said Phillips. Right.
Right. I was close. I was okay. At least I was in the neighborhood, man. Mitch, that's
direction. You just let us take the credit. It's all good.
Yeah, there you go. That's right. I'll get us to the neighborhood. You get me to the house. You know what I mean? That's what it goes.
Yeah, especially that drop by Slayton. He had 10 yards on the defensive back, and Jones put it just over his fingertips.
Oh,
my
yeah?
gosh. Oh yeah, he had a walk-in touchdown from DC to Maryland. That should have been such a giveaway touchdown. That'd have put the game on ice.
Yeah.
Well, fourth and 4. 23-25, 5:10 to go. Graham Gano coming on to kick another field goal. This would be, his fourth field goal, I think? 17, 20, 23. Yeah, this would be his fourth field goal. He is a very underappreciated kicker. He's just very quietly consistent over the years. This is from 55, right down the middle. This guy never misses a kick. Dang, he is just so good.
He made
20 Giants. So there's your little play-by-play action.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I wish I could watch it, but again, I made my stand. This is where I am. So just real quick. Yeah, well, I appreciate you telling me. Mitch says he's in Platinum Parking. He'll be there. That's awesome, man. I mean, Jay is technically speaking a gold lot, I believe, but you know the deal. So just park in your spot and come on over and hang out with us. And he also asked if I was on the road. No, I'm in Virginia. I'm over in the Charlottesville area right now. I'll be here till November. My son's playing football in the area, so that's what I'm doing. My daughter's at her horseback riding lessons because this is where we used to live when we lived in Virginia for 5 years. So I'm going to go to a UVA game one of these weekends too and go see the next crop. They destroyed a team on opening day. So then they got a little bit of a team there. So I'll go watch them as well. But anyway, guys, we are going to bounce out of here. I appreciate everybody being here. You guys are the best. And I appreciate you, Watsuke. Sincerely. I'll leave you guys with the intro for our Saturday show. It's going to look familiar to some of you. I got to make a new one, but I'll leave you guys with this and thank you. We'll see you all Sunday. Be safe and go Jets. Have a good night, everybody.
I think he's going to be day one, a violent vertical edge setter.
in that mindset to put your shoulder on somebody.
Dig, drop, you're finished, and we're done.